My name is Anne Sykes and I'm the Chief Executive here at the charity Age UK Teesside, and we support our older people right here on Teesside to help them live independently and healthy as possible.
I'm Amanda Chalmers, and at the moment I lead on a Changing Futures project which is government funded in South Tees, which is Middlesbrough Council and Redcar and Cleveland Council.
My name is Sarah Jane. I currently work in substance use services and have done for about 7 or 8 years. At the minute I'm working for a local authority in kind of a training, development and culture lead role.
My name is Richie Andrew. I work in Public Health South Tees as a health improvement specialist. That's a mental health team, and the work we do is to reduce the prevalence of mental health, improve the awareness about what mental health is and how people can stay resilient and help protect themselves from developing any mental health problems in life.
I'm Anna Robinson. I'm now a freelance consultant for education, looking at inclusion. So essentially what I've always done with my career is I was a secondary teacher, but now I've always supported young people who are permanently excluded. So I've taught them for a long time, and then I've gradually worked to supporting schools to ensure that kids are back in the system if we possibly can be. So that's my job.
What we've found in over the years that we've been working with Change Working, and in particular Jackie, is that her role is to go out and start that journey to get the confidence back, believe in themselves, and eventually reach where they want to be and what they want to do, which for everybody is to be socially involved with other people.
I'd done some Neurolinguistic Programming training with Alan, which was brilliant, and because a lot of what I do deals with the brain and I know a lot about the brain, this was a way of looking at the unconscious at an emotional level where all of trauma sits. So when I came up with a concept of having trauma-informed champions in services for the longevity of the project once I'm not there, I had a vision and I called on Alan to put something together for me in the way of training with some of the stuff that he uses to help get rid of trauma, basically, some of the very crazy stuff that we do. And he just went above and beyond with what the package he put together for my champions training. It's just unbelievable, really. And we're now just finishing off the second round of champions training. So it's been the second year we've done it, and it's been so well received and so well used, really, which is what we wanted.
Because it worked so well, this is what led on to building a working relationship with Alan, because at the time I'd left my psychology degree, was working for a substance use service, and the interventions that we were trained in for some of the most vulnerable and complex problems people are struggling with around addictions, I thought, you know, this stuff's going to work for that as well. So because it was so different, I actually spoke to Alan about, can we do some training around, actually can we get our staff trained up so we can offer this to the clients who come to our services? Because it was all right for me. I was, at the time, I had the money to be able to go and find, well, the money and the resource to go and find a coach, go and do the coaching, but that's not, it didn't feel fair to me that we're offering interventions that I don't currently see being as effective to people who would benefit from what I had. So me and Alan worked together on bringing that into substance use services.
Alan came sort of recommended to me, so the person who recommended I trusted anyway. But then from the second I met Alan, I knew that I was safe. There was a really safe working space, that I could be vulnerable, that I could question, but I also like being challenged, and I think it's really important to have someone that you can trust to challenge you in a safe way. And I think as human beings it's good to be challenged and pushed to be the best version of yourself without being pushed off the edge. And I always felt like it was that safe space to push me and guide me to my limits, really, in terms of like, this is where you are, where do you want to be, is that comfortable, is that not comfortable? So it was a really safe space to question and explore like who I am as a human being.
On a personal level, having been through the training and seeing what Alan's got to offer, it's really, I can see now how it has helped me personally, as well as kind of how it could help others on a personal level. So what it really does is enables you to have a really close look at yourself, the way you interact with other people, the way other people interact with you, how you project yourself to others, and there's actually a lot of the complexity that's locked in within that. So at a personal level, that's certainly like been a huge factor for me in my own journey of personal recovery from mental health as well. From a professional point of view, what we start to see is actually how people interacting with people they're supporting the environment that they put them in, the situations they find that they're hearing about that could affect them personally as well, can all actually be processed a certain way. And I think Alan's approach particularly is to meet people at the pace they're coming at it. And I think he's a bit of a mini genius actually when it comes to kind of seeing where people are on that journey themselves. So he picks that up and then matches their pace. And somehow he manages to do that within a group as well, like people at different levels and different approaches. So I think it's huge, really very empowering work that Alan does. So everyone will progress from one point to another in terms of a positive step. And some others, it might be, they might already arrive at quite an advanced stage, they'll still take a lot from it.
A couple of years ago, I got diagnosed personally with breast cancer, and I'm a very positive person as well. But I had my first round of chemotherapy and it made me so ill. I really didn't know what to do with myself. And at 7 o'clock in the morning, I rang Jackie and she came to my house straight away from Northallerton, and she helped me get over how I was feeling at that time. And from a personal perspective, when you've experienced it yourself, you absolutely know what she's doing for everybody else. And so for me, what Alan does, I've obviously done his NLP course, which made a big difference to me personally. And some of my team have been on that course. But I think Change Working just are a really, really integral part of Age UK Teesside's working.
10 out of 10. I can't fault Alan at all. He's been amazing, and he's so flexible because he knows, you've been in reception, you can see how chaotic these services can get. The diaries can change from day to day, so organising training for our teams can be impossible. So he's brilliant in, I can pick up the phone, rearrange things if I need to. He's really flexible in terms of content, so he'll say, do you know what, if we can't get all of your management team on a particular course, we'll be flexible and put those particular team members while they're available. He gets it because he's worked in services before, he gets it, and he will be really fluid for us. So communication wise, he's always at the end of the phone and he's on it with, if I ask him for any resources or information, he emails me next day.
I say it's an absolute game changer, and I say I would not be where I am today if I hadn't have ever done it. And for me, that's an absolute truth. So it doesn't. People can challenge me. I might say it's not for you, but for me personally, this is what it's done for me, and this is how it's changed my life. And these are the bits of the toolkit that I use on a daily basis. But there must be something in the way that I am, because everyone I speak to about it, the next thing I know is they're ringing me up going, I've just done diploma. It was everything that you said it was going to be. So I'm probably a really good salesperson, but I don't get what it is. I think it's just about being genuine around, this is what it does. It's a game changer. It's changed my life, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I wish I'd done it years ago. I wish I'd done it in my early 20s.
It's given me a vision for my future. It's given me the tools that I needed to really, really be able to help the people I work with. So when you're working with somebody who holds lots of trauma and, some of the most chaotic, sad people in our area, I wanted to be able to take that pain away from them if I could. And now I'm finding that I can. And that's an unbelievable gift to give to somebody. So by passing on what he knows, he's really helped me in that way. But not only that, I now know what I want to do beyond this project. And that's all thanks to Alan's work and the way he's trained me, really, which is really good.
Yeah, it's exceeded all my expectations in so many respects. And I don't know really how to summarise that, because it's a feeling, it's a response, it's a way of being. It's more than just giving it a tick in the box. But I always review it highly, but it's way more than that.
Well, Alan knows I do this on the daily, because I often say, sorry, I've sent you another referral. Because especially on a one-to-one, if people talk to me about the struggling with personal stuff, like it might be anxiety, it might be stress, other things that are going on for them, in services we've got EAP, there's stuff that can access, but there's barriers to structured counselling, and people want a quick result, understandably, so do I. So I often just say, go and see Alan, or go and see Jackie, go and see them. It might not be for everyone, but for a lot of people, to get the change they want in 1 to 2 sessions, And actually that allows them to get back into work, be effective and be happier in their own life as well. So I very often just say, go and see them, they'll sort it out for you. Different to some counselling or something that might take a lot longer.
If you feel like kind of you're not always being listened to, perhaps you're not being, your ideas, you struggle to find the confidence to turn your ideas into action. You struggle to be able to see always the things that sometimes other people have seen, then I think this type of course would be a huge benefit. I think if you're really ready for change, I think that's one of the things you fundamentally have to be ready for, is that this will change you and it will change your approaches. And that's not always an easy thing for people to accept. So if you are looking for change and you're looking to get more positive outcomes in your life, this is absolutely the type of training to do.